This week is the Masters. It's being played in November. It's going to be cold. It's going to be rainy. So it truly is a tradition unlike any other. Joining us to talk through it, it is one of my great friends from ESPN. He's got a great new web series out that I encourage you all to check out, The Chip King. Please welcome Princeton himself, Noah Savage.
Noah. What's up? What up, guys?
Thanks for coming on. How are you, brother?
Is it just you or is it you and Brian?
It's me and Brian.
Oh, what up, guys?
Hey.
We'll get Brian in the two shot. He'll be there. Lean up. You're all hunched over.
My bad. I'm battling through a devastating neck injury right now that I probably sustained golfing.
Yeah.
So I've hit the heavy muscle relaxers today. So I'm going to be real groggy and probably pass out halfway through.
Nice. You got some of those horse guys?
Yeah, I took 2 or 3. They're expired too. Little red wine. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, you're living like John Daly, brother. You truly are a golfer.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, the thing about golf, and you guys know this better than anything, there's not a better sport to engage in substances or gamble with. I mean, it's if you watch golf and you're not gambling on it, I'm like, I don't even know how to do that. You know, you need to make picks to make this a fun sport to watch.
So are you a big golf gambler?
Oh yeah, like I don't watch unless I got something in the hopper.
Okay, so let me frame up this segment for you. I got $100 that I'm going to put out there this weekend. Let's go through everything going on with these Masters, and you tell me how we're going to spend that money. Sound good?
Yeah, perfect.
All right, so it's in November. It's normally played in April. First of all, how are these fall conditions going to make it affect the players?
Yeah, well, I think that the two things to watch out for is, number one, there are no fans. If you're a golf fan, you know there's no fans ever at Augusta. They're patrons. There's all sorts of goofy and like really like when you first watch the Masters, you're like, all right, this is a tradition unlike any other. And then you dig a little deeper and you're like, it seems like an Adam Sandler movie, like Mr. Deeds. And then he got to make his own golf course because some of them are so random.
The rules are amazing.
You can't take the green jacket with you.
You can't
have to leave it there.
What?
The tickets are incredibly cheap, but they're impossible to get. The food is cheap. They have a secret pimiento cheese recipe. I mean, you go down the line and there's all these random quirks. You're like, whoever started Augusta was like slightly mentally ill.
You're not allowed to run unless you're a player. You can bring your own chair, but the chair can't have armrests. And once when all of the greenskeepers went to World War II, they had cows trim the grass and they ate the whole course.
Yeah, they're like, we want you to be comfortable, but actually super uncomfortable 12 minutes into sitting down. You can sit down, but you're going to hate it. But in terms of this year, guys, think about last year. First of all, how long has this year been? I remember that Tiger won it last year, and I was like, that can't be right.
I know.
And I was like, what year is this? But last year, he's charging. He's going down the stretch. Other guys who are in contention were saying that they would knock in a birdie putt or they would do something incredible, and there's like 8 people kind of smattering of claps. And then Tiger does anything, and it's like a roar of thousands of people. So the first thing that comes to mind is you're playing with no patrons there. And to me, that favors the younger guys. That's just less pressure. I don't care how you put it. You know how it is. You perform a room for 10 people. You go, this is easy. You do the garden, it's more pressure.
Right.
And you can't be a newbie at this course. Like I remember in 2012, like Clayton Baker, I think was his name. He was playing the course for the first time. He took a little sand from the bunker. He was arrested for taking that sand.
Yeah, and the sand is actually like this is like the Wizard of Oz. The sand is made of aluminum shavings or something from mining aluminum.
What?
And then they put food dye into the lakes to make it even brighter. So it's all about the look on TV. They don't let the flowers bloom usually until it's going to time up with the Masters. They'll put ice onto the plants around the course.
That is rude for plants.
Yeah, and there's no animals. There are no animals around. There's a giant fence around. You never see a squirrel.
Wow.
You rarely see a bird. There's a a rumor that the birds are piped in artificially. So very NFL of them / NBA.
What kind of rumors that, yeah, these birds aren't real?
Yeah, I know real birds. And when I'm watching at home, that bird is bullshit, man. That's not a real bird.
I know real birds.
So this is going to be a great tournament. I'm going to watch it. It may or may not be delayed because of the weather. I think it's going to be a little bit of a stop and start play. First of all, what's the best bet you want to make if you just want to root against Bryson DeChambeau?
Yeah, well, there's a couple guys that are kind of in the same like echelon, whether it's John Rahm or you want to put money on Rory, who's trying to win the Masters to complete the career Grand Slam. Justin Thomas and Dustin Johnson. Like Justin Thomas is a guy who's incredibly detail oriented. He's a perfectionist. He was in contention at the Zozo and then just kind of fell off late. He just couldn't get a birdie. He was just really struggling. So that rung of guys, you can't go wrong with Xander Schauffele, Brooks at 18-1. But the guy that I really like that you got to throw some money on is Matthew Wolff.
Matthew Wolff is a very chic pick here. Second at the U.S. Open, second at Shiners, and you like those youngins. He's a baby.
Yeah, and I like long hitters at Augusta. And the reason, if you look at a map of the course, like this is a dream course for me to play. Okay, the Chip King has a big slice. Okay, the Chip King hits. All right, I bought balls. I'll tell you a story that'll relate to the Masters. I bought 130 balls for a bachelor party. Okay,
sweet,
with my friend's face on them.
Nice.
And the bachelor party got canceled, so I just started playing the balls because I'm like, whatever, I'll buy new balls next time. When the bachelor party comes back. I hit 130 balls into the woods since about, July 5th. So the way that relates to the Masters is this is almost as wide open as you can get for a pro course because holes either have out of bounds only on one side or there's no out of bounds either way.
Yeah.
So if you're Bryson and you're trying to fly it 400 yards off the tee, you're not afraid of hitting it out of bounds because there's just nowhere to go. You'll be on another hole, but you're going to have a look in. And Matthew Wolff is a bomber as well. He hits it really, really long. And as a young guy with no patrons, he's a guy that you look at and go, he's kind of pissed. He feel like he should have maybe won the U.S. Open and maybe won at Shriners. And he's another one of those young dudes who's like, he doesn't care what you think about him because if he did, he wouldn't swing the club like Jim Leyritz. I mean, the thing is ugly.
That makes sense with Bryson because, if you look at the odds for who's going to win, the odds for Bryson are way too steep. 8-1 is insane for any golf tournament.
And no, for young golfers out there that if they say they mess up early in Augusta, do you think they have enough to bounce back from that?
Yeah, you know what? I think it depends who it is. I think a guy like Dustin Johnson for sure does. He's not that young, but Justin Thomas is a guy who just can explode, gets a lot of birdies and can come back. The guy I worry about and one of the bets you might want to make to miss the cut with your $100, Joel, is Brooks Koepka to maybe miss the cut.
Whoa. I mean, I know there is a long layoff. I know Brooks was second in 2019, but just from an outsider golf, I'm like you. I'll watch it when I got a wager down. But this is Koepka's sport, I'm thinking. Now I live with Sam, and Sam just tells me Dustin Johnson's the greatest athlete who ever lived. So I got all that, what's the word? Propaganda being put on me.
Well, Dustin Johnson's another kind of really chic pick. He's third in driving distance off the tee, right? He's hot right now. He's number one in the world. He made a 60-foot putt in Houston a couple days ago that kind of people said, wow, maybe this guy is a guy of destiny. And he's a guy with a lot of runner-up finishes. So he's got a lot to prove still. It's kind of the perfect storm when you look at Dustin Johnson, in my opinion. But if you're going to bet one stat at Augusta, it's driving distance. That's what I'm going with here.
Okay, I'm with it. And if we're just going to talk locks, let me throw it out there because the props for the Masters are amazing. If you're not a diehard golf fan, this is as extensive as March Madness or the Super Bowl. And if you just want to make money, if you get a certain Biden payout in time, maybe you can bet on the best player from Spain, John Rahm, minus 835. That's a lock.
Sergio's out with COVID.
Yeah, Sergio has COVID, so
Yeah.
then you're on Rafa Cabrera Bello plus 500 or Jose Maria Olazabal. So yeah, that's my favorite bet. It's insanely stupid, but I'm going to do it.
Yeah, you can bet on if there's going to be a hole-in-one for anybody.
When was the last hole in the one at the Masters?
Ooh, that would be cool. Did Tiger do it? Tiger had to do it.
I don't think so. But here's my other hot take as a basketball player. I'm betting athletes in the Masters. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Tony Finau. He played center for his high school basketball team. He averaged 11 rebounds a game.
Okay. All right.
And this is what and Joel, here's where you should put your money. Okay. Look within yourself. A couple years ago, you transformed your body, you packed on the muscle. That's a bet on Bryson right there.
That's a bet on Bryson. Sure, but Tony Finau, he's Mormon. He hits it 315 off the tee and, 6'4", compact swing. I like that.
Yeah, and, he rocks Nikes. He kind of dresses like a basketball player. He could have played college basketball but decided to pursue golf. That was a great decision by him. But you're getting it at 33-1. So if you got to put $10 on that. You have to put $10 on Finau, Joel.
But isn't Tony Finau the guy who got psyched out by Tiger Woods last time? Like he was palpably scared. They were playing together in the final twosome, right? And they just couldn't hang. So that tells me psychologically, and like if you're suggesting athletes, who's a better athlete than Brooks Koepka?
Yeah, but he's a banged up athlete. And to me, the Brooks Bryson feud is one of the best storylines in golf. On one hand, you've got the mad scientist who reinvented himself. He added the yardage, but he lets you know how smart he is at every turn. And then there's Brooks, who's like, shut up, stop stalling, and hit the damn ball. But that approach doesn't work when you're not 100%. You can't just be a meathead, have very little thought into your game, and then have a bad knee here, a bad back. I mean, out in Harding Park, he's getting chiropractic adjustments during the round. I've never seen that before. He's having his hip worked on during the round.
Yeesh.
Okay, that's not great. That's good analysis there. Props to the Chip King on that one.
Yeah.
And he's been tinkering with his equipment. So my thought is he is Shooter McGavin going out in the dark, trying the Happy Gilmore swing.
Right.
Ooh,
I'm screwed. I need more yardage. He's screwing with his clubs this late in the game. Please.
Yeah, that's no good. And
Bryson's living in his head. Sorry, how you guys talk sometimes.
No. Do you want Bryson to have to wear the green jacket? Because he's gonna cut with scissors so his arms fit. He wants to do that.
But Bryson, his weight fluctuates, and you only get another green jacket if your body changes. So Bryson's the rare guy who could get 2 green jackets.
If I was a professional golfer, I'd have at least 9 green jackets, given my own weight fluctuations. So I respect that.
Yeah, he's the Mark Gasol of New York comedy.
That's a great call. I'll take that.
And just
Bryson,
for the record, Brooks Koepka to miss the cut is plus 350. So that's a nice little payout there. $10 to bring back 35, $100 to bring back 350. I don't know that. I like that.
yeah, I don't. You know what? I actually thought the odds would be a little bit better on that. Maybe I don't love that. We've already locked in Matt Wolff as a winner, 33-1. I want to go even. I know we're jumping around a lot, but what I love about golf from a betting perspective is you get these crazy odds that when you bet other sports, you go, how on earth could I get odds this good? You're looking at Tiger, the defending champion, 28-1. You're looking at Bubba Watson, 2-time champion, 28-1. You can bet Phil Mickelson 66-1. You got to throw $10 on Phil. Why wouldn't you?
Got to.
I mean, he's the patron saint of gambling. You got to bet on Phil. And we did cover all
and of calves and of chipping. The guy's one of the best wedge players of all time. I worship Phil.
That's true.
And the bets for the Masters are so fun. I've got some props in front of me right now. So this is the most insane thing I've seen offered by a sports book. Hole-in-one in the tournament by a South African player. Yes, plus 800. Should be probably steeper.
plus 800. It should be plus 80,000. That's the most absurd.
Right.
Bad odds. I wish I could bet with the house on that one.
There is a no. You can bet minus
Oh, yeah,
2,500.
Bet no. Hammer the no. Hammer the no.
Yeah. How do you spend your $100? Yeah, put it on no South Africans that hit a hole in one and you win $4. How about top lefty? That's fun. There's only 4 lefties in this tournament, so that could be a nice place to put Phil Mickelson. Bubba Watson minus 250, then Phil 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that it's Phil and Bubba makes it a little tough. But both those guys still hit long. I mean, Phil is 50, and he's still hitting at 312 off the tee. To give you guys a little bit of context with that, when Tiger Woods dominated the 97 Masters, he was driving at 323 that weekend at Augusta. He was averaging under 300 because it was 97. Nobody hit long. Only John Daly hit over 300. But Phil at 50, don't count him out. I mean, what does he care? He doesn't give half an F. He'll go in there and win this tournament.
That's true. That is Phil. That is the Phil mantra. He's like, F it. I'm winning this thing.
Yeah, and I mean, we talk about how the no fans can help the young players, but with conditions being bad, does that maybe help players like Phil or Tiger who've played this course 15, 20 times?
I mean, yeah, and I buy the idea of experience at Augusta more than anything else, because you compare it to another tournament where it's, the site moves around, that sort of stuff doesn't matter. And for all the analytical stuff that Bryson does, it's guys who just like feel it down in their nuts, like Phil and like Tiger, who are going to be able to be like, ooh, that's a little wind. Let me, last second adjustment.
Yeah.
I think if the worse the weather gets, the older, the more experienced player benefits from that.
Yeah.
We pull up the weather report for this week.
Yeah.
Let's get that in play. We've got a lot of information to play with. So we've got a lot of info. Noah wrote us a book report on the Masters so far. So you like Morikawa too, don't you? Do you want to talk to us a little bit about him?
Yeah. So, I was loving Morikawa, and the more I kind of dug into it, Morikawa has unbelievable mechanics. Okay. For me, he's like a Clay Thompson on the golf course. He's just beautiful swing, perfect confidence. What he did out in Harding Park when he hit the green on a par 4 that basically solidified the championship, but he's been very inconsistent since then. And if you compare Harding Park, it's very narrow compared to Augusta. So I don't love him anymore. I've kind of fallen out of love with him, and I'm kind of back in on Rory. I feel like Rory is a little pissed off. He once again got dragged into like a semi-controversy, not controversy, rocking the hoodie. And he needs his Masters just to become a Grand Slam champion. And he's bombing. He's 5th in driving distance on the tour.
And
so he's got a chance just as much as Bryson to hit it long all weekend.
And two things off that. First of all, Morikawa, he won the PGA Championship. And you might think, oh, that's a great player. That's so promising. But he was a college golfer at Cal Berkeley, which plays their golf at the same course, Harding Park, that the PGA Championship was held at. So that's a huge home field advantage for him. And then if you want to go back to Rory, like it's completing the Grand Slam, but look at the other times he won the Grand Slams. U.S. Open, 2011 and 2012 PGA Championship, 2014 the Open. He hasn't won a major in over 5 years, so that gives me some doubt there.
Yeah, and he's Tiger Woods' favorite player, okay, in my mind, because he started off his career in this way that was like, oh my God, he's going to dominate the sport for the 20 years like Tiger did, and he fell off. I mean, he really nosedived, not to the point of Spieth, who, I feel bad for him, how poorly it's gone the last year or two, but with Rory, he didn't live up to Tiger, and it just shows how great of a run that Tiger's had. Mm-hmm. But I think he's kind of due, 8th at the U.S. Open, 17th at the Zozo. His mentality seems like it's right. He dumped his, first fiance, married a not famous person. He's out of the limelight a little bit. I like where his head's at right now.
Yeah.
And your notes for these golfers are amazing. Would you do us a favor and read the John Rahm notes to us? The column on the right-hand side, please.
Well, listen, this is called high-level sports analysis, but He majored in communications at Arizona State University.
Which is a really worthwhile degree. That's like that's like the bullshit university with the bullshit degree.
Yeah, he's like, I minored in bullshit and I majored in also bullshit. Arizona State has basically the hottest girls on the planet. And all he did was play golf, bang girls named Ashley, and go out there and just dominate. I mean, a golfer who's going pro with a Spanish accent in Arizona, please.
Yeah, that's an easy win. Here's the weather for Thursday. We have T-storms at a 90% chance. Friday, 79 degrees, 50%. So, yeah, it's going to be a shower day, but looks like Thursday is going to be the heavy one.
Yeah, but if we know Thursday is going to be a delay, which of these golfers are going to be better at just like getting their adrenaline up and then just putting it on pause for 24 hours? That's a really tough psychological fact. Rory?
Yeah, I'm getting Rory. I agree with Noah completely about he's got this swag that I love. It's a different view from a golfer, and I think he's in a zen spot right now.
But we have. Maybe it's Justin Thomas I like because he grew up in the South. He's more familiar with the conditions of these regions during November. And you know what? He's got pretty good odds, 12-1. He's never done great at the Masters. That's what gives me pause there. Best finish, I think, is 12th.
And he had a kind of a rough closing round at the Zozo recently. He was bothered by weather. I mean, he stood over a ball. I don't know if it was 15 or 16 at the Zozo, but he stood over it. He stepped off. There was wind. He stood back over it. It got in his head a little bit. And if this plays normally like Augusta, that's one thing. But if it's going to be swirling winds and going to play more like a British Open Augusta hybrid, can Justin Thomas deal with that? Or is he going to say, what the hell is this? It's supposed to be a certain way down here in the South.
That's a very good point.
A lot of hot takes here, Joel.
I mean,
takes
that's
over
why
there,
we
Noah.
get the Chip King, baby.
Yeah, I love the sweater. What is that? You got a little tiger action on there?
Yeah, this is I forget what brand this is. The guy, Lil Dicky wears this in Dave. I got it first.
Aspirational. Be a little Dicky. And
side note, by the way, one time I was booked to do a Midnight Madness at a college.
Yeah.
And the next year they booked a Lil Dicky. So upgrade for them that year.
Those are the two guys who come to mind. I mean, who are white entertainers with charisma and that it factor? Noah Savage and Lil Dicky. How did Tiger win last year? I know it feels like a million years ago, but doesn't that seem like physically impossible at this point?
Yeah, it was stunning, and one of the things about Tiger now is he just doesn't play as much. He's a little bit like, I don't know who you want to compare him to, it's like Kawhi Leonard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got the big injury, so they say, screw it, we're not going to play you in the other events that don't matter. He's out here for one thing. It's waitresses and majors. That's all he's about right now. So he's saving up, and he just came out. He was ready, and he had a chance, I think, to play a practice round that he usually would have played in between two of the days. He turned it down. He was rested. He was calm. And he finished really well. In 2005, he blew it on the finish, bogeying 17 and 18. And last year when he won, he needed a big 8-iron. He got it. He put it within 3 feet of the pin for a birdie. And then his drive on 17 closed it out.
Yeah, and last year, I mean, ESPN just published an article about all the little, preparations he did last year. So it sounds like those aren't really part of his routine this time around. So that could be tough for Tiger there. And then you kind of flagged some guys who maybe were irrelevant, but Bubba Watson, Jason Day, 33-1 odds. I think the powers that be at the props network, they love Bubba here. So if it's in the South, you want to support someone named Bubba. Am I right?
Give Bubba a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I love the Bubba bet. Another guy hits it long and is the lead around the green and a 2-time winner. So, all these guys think that they're going to win going into the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I read an interesting stat that was like 225 guys on the tour have won a major, but only 85 have ever won 2. Wow. So Bubba's in that category where he's won at least 2 majors. and he's got the experience, the lefty, elite putter. That's where he really makes his big money. So I love those bets. I love Tiger, Phil, Bubba. When you're going to bet the old guard, take all those bets.
Yeah, Jamoki says he loves Bubba. We got Bubba fans.
Okay, so we got $10 on Bubba. That's for sure. We got $835 on John Rahm to be the best Spaniard. And just in terms of long shots, I like to bet the stories, and I know you're not in on Brooks, but a 1-2 finish for Bryson and Brooks, 150 to 1. That seems fun to root for.
Got to bet that. Love it.
Got it. Sam looks like he just smelled a fart, which we are farting over here, so that might be why.
I think Brooks misses the cut better.
Oh, you like Brooks to mix the cut?
I mean, that's juicy.
Is there a bet for like someone gets COVID or anything? It's terrible, but I'm sorry. I just
You know what?
if you got Sergio, if COVID's got Sergio, it's gonna get other people.
I'm looking for the COVID bet. Well, it's in Georgia, so they first have to acknowledge that COVID exists before they put that line on the board.
Gotcha.
So it's tough
All right.
for them.
Yeah.
All right. So how about these guys who've really fallen off? Like a lot of the players who I kind of know for name value, like Ricky Fowler, Jordan Spieth. It's kind of absurd that these guys are 70 to 1 to me. Like, do golfers really lose it that quickly?
Yeah, well, Spieth did lose it that quickly, and he was another guy who was going to be on. He was number one in the world at one point, and but people expected sustained greatness. I can't speak English, but you understand the point. And he fell off hard. But if you want to play the story angle and pick one or two of those, take a flyer on it. I'm not against it, but you got to put some money on Bryson for sure, because you don't want to be the dumbass who bets everybody else and is like, oh. That one was right in front of me.
And I do think big picture, Bryson winning is always good for golf. Like Tiger, he put the sport up to new heights of popularity because everyone loved him.
Right.
And I think it's possible for Bryson to do the exact opposite of that. Trump's out of the picture. America needs a new villain.
Right.
Who better than this Nordique weirdo?
Yeah, and anybody else with his story in terms of, I'm not getting it done. I got to get bigger. I'm going in the lab. I work really hard. I mean, that's how bad his personality is, that people aren't super obsessed with him. He's got a great story, and people just are like, shut up, nerd.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hear about your physics.
Yeah, it's no good.
Stop showing us your ripped body. He's the only ripped dude who people say, put a shirt back on.
We don't
Yeah.
need that.
Well, also, he leads the league in homoerotic calls by the announcers, where they're like, and look at that shirt barely staying together on his glistening back as he walks down the fairway with a powerful stride and his bulging You're like, Jesus Christ. He's not even that big. That's what makes me mad, too. These guys aren't even that big. Brooks is like 205, and everybody's like, oh, my God. He's so huge.
He's a monster. You pulled up some really funny stuff with the announcers in the history. Broadcaster Gary McCord fired for saying they don't cut the grass at Augusta. They use bikini wax.
There's a guy who definitely calls it trim. You know what I mean?
Only when Bryson's out there, baby.
Here,
That's brutal, though. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah. Here's a bet question here. Can you do a win, place, show for winner, top 5 and top 10?
Yeah, you can do that. They have, when you look at golf lines, they're divvied up into winner, top, like if you look at it's winner, top 5, top 10.
Uh-huh.
So top 10 for anyone is like more or less even odds. Is there a lock for a top 10 finish?
From my point of view?
Yeah.
Justin Thomas.
Justin,
You bet Justin Thomas top 10. I'd be comfortable betting Rahm, McIlroy, Justin Thomas top 5.
Yeah.
And again, love Matthew Wolff. I'd leave Xander Schauffele and Brooks Koepka kind of off that list in that echelon. But all those, that's $30 for you right there. Put 10 on that. Put 10 on Bryson to win.
Okay, so I got 10 on Bubba. I got 10 on Bryson. I got 10 on Justin Thomas, top 5. 10 on John Rahm, top 5. And we're going to do 10 on Koepka to miss the cut. I don't want to do it, but it sounds like the health isn't there for him. We got $50 to spend. Before we do that, I'm going to go and do a quick little ad read. Shout out to some of our friends. And where are our friends this week? You know where they are. They're at BetMGM Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Jamie Foxx and the Detroit Lions. And they are live for legal betting in Colorado, Indiana, Nevada, New Jersey, West Virginia, and now the great state of Tennessee. Are you betting on the Masters this week? Well, you should. How about the NFL and college football? Take some of that action to BetMGM. Why? Because for a limited time, BetMGM has a special signing bonus for Props Network listeners. All you have to do is create a new account at BetMGM, use code WALKON20 to get a 100% match on your first deposit up to $500. That's right. Just enter code WALKON20 and up to a $500 bonus bankroll is all yours. Then you will enjoy all that BetMGM has to offer. Earning free bets every week in the Money Monday Club, which is nice if you have something tied up. Multi-sport parlay boosters. And this week, you get a $10 free live dealer casino play when you wager $20 or more on any NFL game. And you know if they're smart, like you're just going to automatically win that $10 casino bet. That's how it works. So try BetMGM with code WALKON20 now while the offers last. Must be 21 or older to bet online. Do you or someone you know have a gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER today. And we are back with Noah Savage, the Chip King. I've got $50 left to spend on my Masters wagers. We're going to figure out how to do it. Will it be winners, prop bets? And with these sort of things, like, you want to diversify your bets, right? So with golf, do you like to just bet on a bunch of different guys to win or just throw it out on a bunch of various props?
I mean, I love to take winners, and then I like a couple top fives. So that way, like going into the PGA, I had 3 out of the top 5 alive on Sunday. And, when you go down, the odds get crazy pretty fast. And there's some premier names where you're getting really long odds that you got to love. So what I'd love you to do, Joel, is out of this group of, you've already taken Bubba, but Patrick Reed, Matsuyama, Matt Wolff, Tony Finau, and Tommy Fleetwood, you got to take at least 2 of those at 33-1. I mean,
Tommy Fleetwood's actually 55-1, so I see good value there.
Ooh, so it moved. Yeah, so take him.
Sam, is there something that happened with Fleetwood in the past day that we don't know about that moved the line?
No, he just hasn't been playing very well.
Okay, so, but if we've seen the cranberry juice do anything, it's the season of Fleetwood. So he's going to win the tournament. They're going to let that guy ride down a skateboard and put on the green jacket. It'll be great.
He's a great ball striker.
Wet conditions, 55-1. I like that Tommy Fleetwood. And those odds, not bad at all.
He's going to spill the cranberry juice on the green jacket, immediately get arrested. Some Augusta bylaw.
Yeah, and I was just joking there. No way is Augusta letting the cranberry juice guy in there. Okay, so Tommy Fleetwood, we've got $40 left to play with. Do I want to? What about some of these lower tier guys for top 10? Because if you look at the payouts, it becomes 10-1. Couldn't I bet the bottom 5 guys to hit the top 10 and maybe one of them hits?
I wouldn't do that. I like the. I mean, you can do whatever you want. I would not do that. I like the middle odds. I like the guys where they're beat up a little bit in terms of the perception, but they're right there. I mean, nobody wants to pick Patrick Reed because he's a dick, and everybody hates him. Like I've just never seen anybody root for Patrick Reed. But here's a guy that you could take at 28-1 and be happy with it.
Or what about we bet on the letdown? We know Patrick Cantley won the Zozo. He's riding high off that. He's got to go hit in the rain and the sleet. He's plus 325 to miss the cut. I mean, that seems like a fun wager to me.
I don't mind it. I like it.
Yeah, because golf is such a psychological game. You need to be finely tuned. You need to be hungry. And if you just have that payoff of success, you're not going to be as sharp.
Yeah, no doubt. And you got to think about, I deserve this mentality, right? He just won one. He's saying, I deserve to enjoy my life. It's COVID. We're at Augusta. There's great food here. Oh, there might be a rain delay. Maybe I have a couple drinks. That throws me off. He's out.
He's going to take out his phone, look at his victory from last week. He gets to actually keep that trophy. So if you get to keep that trophy, what's a leased jacket to you? Not much.
Yeah, no doubt. And again, to get back to Finau, who I feel like I bet like every tournament he plays in, the guy has no pressure on him. He's a Mormon. He doesn't touch caffeine. He doesn't touch alcohol.
Ooh.
He's there for one reason. And he's a guy with that really short, compact swing. He doesn't really unleash the full swing that often. But if anybody can do it, and the time to do it would be now. So I'm selling you on Finau, Joel.
You're selling me
Give me
on
10 for Finau.
Finau. Do we want Finau to win, or maybe we know Finau can get in the top 5? So
What are the odds in top 5?
top 5 on Finau are plus 550.
Yes.
Yeah,
Take
so
Take that.
those are great odds actually. So we're gonna put Finau plus 550. We got $10 more, baby. And just like
Are you not betting Tiger?
I'm gonna bet
For
Tiger.
the story, the repeat?
You better.
I mean, I'm more inclined to bet Phil than Tiger. I mean,
Brian, do you bet Tiger every tournament?
Oh, I'm black, right?
Brian's only placed one bet ever, and it was Alex Caruso to win Finals MVP.
It was a lock. It was a lock.
I'll argue that you should have won it. He took Dwight Howard's starting job in the deciding game. Yeah. So to take Dwight Howard's importance away from a championship, that's the MVP
That
right
is
there.
an MVP. Okay, what about any love for Jason Corcrack? Is that a name? Is that real? Is that a real?
I see Jason Day, 30-1. Jason Kokrak, 100-1. Why'd you pull him up, Bri?
It was in the chat. Some people are Kokrak fans.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Our inner city viewers. Ronald Reagan taught that guy how to golf. And I do see just the names. I feel like there's really good value in Fleetwood 55-1, Adam Scott 50-1, and I don't know, maybe Tiger's 45-1, but I kind of like that Tiger top 10 plus 350 given his knowledge of the course.
Yeah.
Dude, where are you getting these odds? Because an hour ago Tiger was only 28-1. So
I'm at DraftKings.
Dude, hammer Tiger.
Hammer Tiger.
20 on Tiger.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 20 on Tiger. Any action on Webb Simpson? I like that name. I like the Simpsons. I'm inclined to support a Webb Simpson. Treehouse of Horror.
He's not the guy I like right there. I prefer Jason Day. If you're going to go in that band of odds, you've got Matthew Wolff already, right? You put money on Matthew Wolff. That's my guy.
Matthew Wolff
top 5. Hammer it.
And be honest, do you have a little relation to Matthew Wolff via marriage?
No, I wish I did. Honestly, I would be cleaning his clubs this weekend, but same name as my wife. I'll admit that, but it's more the funky swing. I love the aggression. I love that he's a trailblazer. You love the competitive spirit to be able to finish rounds off. He's already been a champion, not at Augusta, but Matthew Wolff, he hits it long, hits it far. He's composed. Bet him.
And just back to your previous point, like it's important to shop around for odds with the Masters because there's huge differences from book to book. Like, for example, Justin Rose, he's plus 5,000 at BetMGM, but he's plus 8,000 at DraftKings. Like, that's a big difference. You don't want to be kicking yourself for a winner and just because you didn't get the best odds. So I'll be shopping. I'll be trying the best ones. And some people have like pretty good odds, like Tyrrell Hatton plus 2,500, decent odds. And like, I think this note's from you, Sam. You've never even heard of him, right?
Well, I have. I assume you had.
He's English. He's hot right now. Finished 3rd at Shadow Creek, 7th in Houston. So maybe I'll be inclined to back that one.
Yeah, and he's kind of like the anti-Bryson bet in a lot of ways, in my opinion, because he hammered the par 3s in Houston. So you're going to go, great, you're hitting it super long, Bryson. My guy just takes care of business on the par 3s. It might be a nice hedge.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. So maybe I'll look at Tyrrell Hatton, and that's a good name. He sounds like a boxer, so I want to support him. And any love for Scotty Scheffler plus 6,600?
Hell no.
Hell no, we hate him. Nothing
Dude,
on Scotty.
I'm really loving because now I'm on DraftKings. I was on CBS before, and the odds were completely different. I love the top 5. I mean, I almost want to say every bet that we pick to win, we got to move it over to a top 5.
Yeah, because then we could win 5 times.
Yeah, the odds are great for top 5 and top 10, especially as you go down the list a little bit. Like Fleetwood top 10 plus 400 plus 800 for top 5.
And and you make money in gambling not for the long shots, on the conservative wagers that are likely, but the odds aren't commensurate with it. So maybe there is something to these top 5s and top 10s.
Yeah, as soon as you get out of the top, I mean, it makes sense. Like once you get down to like 7, 8, then the odds start getting really good for top 5. So they don't have to play completely over their heads, but just play a pretty good week and you're in. And again, it's some of the names we talked about: Morikawa plus 600. Bubba plus 600, Finau plus 550, spread it around.
And honestly, if you were to just do the top 10 for this middle band, if you're like, okay, 10 on Wolff plus 350, 10 on Tiger plus 350, 10 on Tommy Fleetwood plus 400, if just one of those hits, you're covering your margins. And this is sort of like, it's like an if bet. You're cheering for 2 of them to get it. If you hit 2, you're having a banner day. I think that's what I'm going to try, actually.
What you're trying to say is you literally can't lose with these picks. These are locks.
They're all locks. It's like what Augusta has on the minority entrance.
Tiger's there. Yeah, that's all.
Tell you what, they have a troubling past, and by past I mean until 2012. Oh man, they are. It's rough. It's a rough history.
Yeah,
Brian?
They're getting there. They're getting there. I think they hired a black officer in the organization, so they're getting there.
Look, you're not even allowed to wear a backwards hat as a patron, so I think that's the rule that really shows the world, hey, we're welcoming you.
We're almost there. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of really shocking rules, but they're trying to make it all better because Lee Elder is going to be one of the ceremonial starters moving forward. The first black guy to ever play there.
Right.
In 75.
Yeesh.
What?
Yeesh.
Oh, man.
But we're going to have a great time wagering on this golf. What else can you gamble on at 12 o'clock on a Thursday? It's going to be an awesome tournament. So just to recap, we are on Woods, top 10. We are on Wolff, top 10. We're on Bubba Watson to win. We're on Tommy Fleetwood, top 10. And then are we on Bryson to win 9-1? Is that worth it?
Ooh.
Yes.
We're on Bryson to win. We're on Brooks Koepka to miss the cut. And we spent $30 more. And of course, we're on no hole-in-ones from South African players. That's a lock. We're on we're on John Rahm to be the first Spanish finisher. And then I think we got 2 more bets we can make. And any tournament props, how about, plus 2,000, any player to score a 62 or lower?
I like that bet. Off the top of my head, I'm trying to think if Tiger's ever even done that. Maybe in 97. I want you to double down on Matthew Wolff, top 10 and to win.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'd like you to do that with Bubba. I mean, those are 2 that I don't know why. I just feel really good about those 2. So I want them for the top 10, but I want them to win too.
All right.
I love it.
We at the Props Network, we're back in Wolff and Bubba. Do you like that, Sam?
Yeah, I've got one long shot though. I'm curious for Noah's thoughts on though.
Okay, what's your long shot? Brendan Todd is his long
100 to 1, or we can get about plus 1,500 on a top 10. Has had quietly an amazing year. They remind us every 5 seconds that he used to suck, but now he doesn't on the broadcast. And I wonder if Noah could see throwing a shekel or 2 on him for a win or to place.
And
what are the odds? What are the odds to win again? 200 to 1.
Yeah, Brendan Todd is plus 20,000 to win, plus 33 to 1 top 5, 14 to 1 top 10, and he's been playing great. I think Sam only recommended him because he's from Pittsburgh, and Sam's from Pittsburgh. And does he play at your course?
No, and I'm also not from Pittsburgh. So
You're from Pittsburgh. I won't. I'll believe it when I see the birth certificate. He's the Obama of the Props Network.
Well, I'll tell you who is from Pittsburgh. This is going to be a really circular edition. Brooks Koepka's great uncle, the great Dick Grote, who played shortstop for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and he also played basketball and baseball at Duke. So I was doing a Duke game one time, and people were like, Zion's going to run out of that tunnel. I'm like, yeah, but at least it's not Dick Grote.
Oh, so good.
I mean, what's the guy's name? Justin Todd?
Brendan Todd.
Brendan Todd. It sounds like sounds like the Robin who died in Batman. Any nerds out there?
I'm gonna be back in Brendan Todd. I'm pulling up the stats, and he did okay at the Zozo. He did okay at Bermuda, so might be all right. He finished the Zozo tied for he was under par, so that's great.
Listen, take him for top 10 and take him to win. You put 5 on each.
5 on each.
No, you're getting some props for that Dick Grote call out.
Thank you. Thank you. Dick Grote.
If you see that baseball player between your legs, go see a doctor. So Noah, thank you for coming on. Thanks for talking the Masters with you. I hope to have you on again talking hoops. But where can we find you?
All right, so you can find me on Instagram at YoIt'sTheSav.
Great handle.
Or go to thechipking.com to get this beautiful merch that I'm rocking, this Chip King hat. As you can see, it's a beautiful design incorporating potato chips and these cross clubs here.
Beautiful.
And watch the web series. You can find my my YouTube, Noah Savage, or just go to thechipking.com. You know, I started playing golf seriously this year, or a lot this year. I don't know, seriously. So it's just taking you through my journey to try to break 90 for the first time. And I got drone shots. I play some gorgeous courses. I played a Jack Nicklaus signature course the other day. That's the new episode 3 that's out.
And hearing all this work that goes into it, you can tell why the polo shirts are $60.
Yeah. Well, I put those. So I'm working with this company, and I was like, they didn't tell me how much it costs to make the shirts. So I put them up for 40 for like a day. And then the guy hit me up, was like, yo, dude, those cost 38 to make. What the hell are you doing? You can't sell them for 40. So I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman. So go to thechipking.com, buy some hats so I have something to eat for Thanksgiving dinner, you freaking golf maniacs.
Yeah, if you don't...
The hat is dope. The hat's dope.
The hat is great. I'm going to get a hat.
If you don't buy
Thank
a
you.
Chip King hat, the Chip King will be eating chips on Thanksgiving.
Oh, no doubt. And the other thing is, the nickname isn't ironic. I have the softest hands in the game. I chip in. I'm going to make an outrage. I chip in once every 3 rounds. I chip it into the hole.
All right.
That's what I do. That's my life.
We should put
So
the bets
check
on
me out.
you. We should put the bets on you for Sunday.
We have sportsbook connections. We should put out a line on when you break 90.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to put out the Chip King betting line, and all of our Props Network listeners, they can bet for or against you.
Yeah, and if you look on my Instagram, there's a couple previews where you can look at my swing and you can kind of gauge. I got one comment. I ran a Facebook ad and I got like 20,000 views on it, and the only comment I got was, "This guy's swing sucks."
Well, I mean, you got one thing in common with Charles Barkley: great broadcaster, terrible golf swing. That's all you need.
No doubt. And that would be my dream golf foursome would be Barkley, Jordan, me, and Phil.
Nice.
That would be my dream foursome, but we wouldn't golf. Noah Savage, thank you for coming on. Have a great week, and always enjoy hanging out with you.
No doubt. Enjoy the Masters, guys. Talk to you later.
See you now.
Noah Savage.